He's done it. He's really gone and done it. He's walking away from the World Championship. So Magnus Carlsen, World Champion for the last decade. We've known no one else since he took the title off Vishy Anand in 2013. He's walking away from it because he just doesn't like the format. Now, I've got an article here I want to read to you. I've just read it on chess.com. It was posted like an hour ago. Magnus made this announcement yesterday, Tuesday, in a new podcast he's doing. And he's just fed up with it, really. He doesn't enjoy it. He doesn't feel the need to do it. He wanted to play Alireza Firouzja. He said if Firouzja wins the candidates, I'll play. But Firouzja didn't. Jan did. And so now he's saying, look, I want to walk away. And so it's a Nepo Ding Liren match that we're heading for. Now, if you want the full story here, I've got it on screen. So this is the chess.com article. I'll link it down below. So breaking, Magnus Carlsen will not defend World Championship title. And it says here that he recorded it in a podcast on Tuesday. So according to current regulations, FIDE candidates tournament winner Nepomniachtchi will now play the World Championship against the runner-up Ding Liren. Now, Magnus said he's spoken to people in my team, I've spoken to FIDE, I've spoken to Jan as well. The conclusion is very simple. I'm not motivated to play another match, said Carlsen. I don't have a lot to gain, I don't particularly like it, and although the match would be interesting for historical reasons, I don't have any inclinations, and I'll simply not play the match. Carlsen thus confirmed the earlier doubts he'd expressed in December and later repeated. After playing 5 matches, he's just not enjoying them anymore. It's been an interesting ride. I decided to play the candidates in 2013, which to be honest was on kind of a whim. I mean, I never knew that. I thought he was always aspiring to be world champion, although I know at the time he wasn't sure about the regulations and stuff. He didn't love the way it was organised. Anyway, he played. I just decided it could be interesting, and ever since the World Championship title has given me a lot and opened a lot of doors, and I'm happy about that. The matches themselves have been interesting at times a little bit fun. So it says the Norwegian star leaves the door open to return for a match one day, but it's not likely. I don't rule out participation in the future, but I wouldn't count on it. Now, during the FIDE candidates tournament, like I mentioned, Carlsen had a meeting with the FIDE president, Arkady Dvorkovich, I'm probably saying that wrong, and Director General Emil Sutovsky, and apparently that didn't sort it out enough, they didn't make progress, and Magnus said about this meeting in Madrid, I did not have any demands or suggestions for that meeting. They did have a couple of suggestions, but the gist of it was that I was there to tell them that I would not defend my title at the next World Championship match. Dvorkovich told chess.com that he respects the World Champion decision and confirmed that according to the rules, there will now be a Ding Nepo match. And here's Nepo giving Ding the death stare. So that's from the candidates just gone. As it turned out, Carlsen never really changed his mind on a feeling he has had for a while. Ultimately, the conclusion stands, one that I'm pretty comfortable with, one that I've thought about for a long time now. I think I remember Giri or someone saying that once Magnus has kind of made up his mind, it's unlikely he'll go back. So he kind of called it. I would say more than a year, probably a year and a half, long before the last match. It didn't help that Nepo qualified for a second match with Carlsen, who had stated earlier that he preferred an opponent of the new generation, in particular Alireza Firouzja. 4 championships to 5 didn't mean anything to me, it was nothing, said Carlsen in yesterday's podcast. I was satisfied with the job I had done, I was happy I'd not lost the match, but that was it. Carlsen also repeated once again, he intends to carry on playing. I'm going to skip past this bit. And he mentions he'll be playing Sinquefield Cup. Looking forward to that one. There's a lot of feelings around mind. There are a lot of feelings around mind right now that I have to deal with. I don't follow that. That sounds like a typo. Said Ding in a first reaction to chess.com. But I'm very excited about playing a World Championship match to fight for the crown next year. Calling from Barcelona, this is Ding in Barca, where he is staying at a friend's apartment. Ding revealed that he got COVID right after the candidates and therefore couldn't fly back to China yet. Already fully recovered, he'll now travel back in a couple of weeks. The Chinese player is surprised about Carlsen's decision. I know he had doubts, but I expected him to play. But I understand it also. Being world champion means a lot of responsibilities. There are a lot of things to handle. Ding pointed out the similarities between Yuzuru Hanyu, the Japanese figure skater, who also yesterday announced retirement from competition but promised to pursue his goals in exhibitions instead. The chess world has seen previous moments in history when the world champion did not defend his title. In 1946, GM Alexander Alekhine died as the reigning champion when a world championship tournament was organised 2 years later, won by Botvinnik. And then in 1975, Fischer could not agree with FIDE on the match format, now this is the most famous, and lost his title to candidates winner Anatoly Karpov. And then in 93 again, Kasparov left FIDE, set up the Professional Chess Association instead. This led to a schism in chess that lasted until 2006 when Kramnik won a reunification match with Topalov. So yeah, we've seen this stuff before in the chess world. It's not an ideal situation that the best player is not defending his title, and creating your own organisation is not great, said Ding, adding, it's better for the fans if the players fight for the World Championship, and Magnus has of course been the best player throughout the years. We come to a new era. Ding did say that he hopes Carlsen will return one day, and felt that reaching the highest possible competition also gives him a new responsibility. I have to improve my English now. Oh, okay, fair enough. So there you go, that's the news, folks. It's going to be Nepo versus Ding. Magnus is walking away. I'd love to hear your thoughts and comments on it. Me personally, I mean, when it comes to life, you kind of have to do what's right for you, I guess. If in Magnus's mind, he's just feeling just fed up with it all, really, you know, mentally drained by constantly having to prepare. If you're doing it for 10 years, I can understand why that's just going to take a toll on you, and you just can't get up for it anymore in the same way. At the same time, maybe he's walking away to defend his legacy, scared to lose it, I don't know. But ultimately, I back his decision, because if that were me and I was just fed up of it and I didn't want to go through the grueling pain of constantly just preparing for about 6 months in advance, and then it comes down to all of this preparation and tricking people, and there's tons of draws, and then you end up in tie breaks anyway, potentially. Yeah, I get his decision and I back it ultimately. But curious for your thoughts. These are mine just off the cuff, really. There's always people who disagree with me, agree with me. And yeah, it's always good to hear from everyone. So thanks very much for watching. Do hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Oh, and I will be bringing some recaps of the Rapid tournament, which is currently going on in Croatia. We've got Firouzja, Carlsen, Nepo, all playing. Nepo and Carlsen, by the way, literally just played as I'm reading this article, and they drew the game. They ended up in this opposite colour bishops out of the semi-Tarrasch. So those guys have drawn in round 1 of the tournament. I hope to see you on a future video, and thanks again. Speak soon.